John's model of reflection provides the reflective practitioner with a series of cue questions to guide the reflection process. And it's important to look in detail at these questions for reflection. First of all, there are description questions, and we can categorize these description questions very precisely. The first type of description question would be about describing the phenomenon that we're experiencing. Questions which describe the here and now experience of the tutor and the students. There are also causal questions that we can ask. Questions which are essential factors in terms of understanding the experience, understanding the factors which contributed to the experience. And there are also context questions, questions that we need to ask which explain the background to the situation for us and help gain clarity to all those factors which could be influencing the experience that we had. There are also clarifying questions in terms of describing the experience, questions which are part of the key process of reflection because they make our understanding of the experience much clearer. The second type of question we can ask are reflection questions, questions around what we were trying to achieve when we were working in the classroom, and why did we do certain things the way we did. And importantly, in terms of reflection, we need to look at the consequences of these particular actions. What were the impact of the things that we did on those that we're working with? And there is also the idea in terms of reflection questions that we need to consider how we actually felt about the experience, looking back on it and try to remember how we felt while it was happening. We need to also ask questions which take us outside of our own feelings, and we can perhaps ask questions around how did the students feel, and most importantly, how do we know how the students felt about the experience? Because it's important for us to get clarity about the evidence that we're using. We're also asking questions around identifying the influencing factors on the experiences that we have. And we're looking at both the internal and the external factors that can affect what we do, particularly the factors which affect our decision making when we're in the classroom, the internal factors affecting our decision making and the external factors affecting our decision making. And in relation to identifying these influencing factors, we need to ask questions about the sources of knowledge that we're using in relation to making these decisions. Is the knowledge from books? Is it knowledge from colleagues? Or is it our own acquired knowledge from experience over time? And the fourth area that we can consider questions for this staged model of reflection is questions about how we would change things, how we would do things differently. Could I have dealt with the situation better? And there's questions about the choices that we make as teachers when we're in the classroom, and what would be the consequences of those particular choices. And we also need to focus questions around the learning that we can take from the experiences that we have on a day-to-day basis. And so in terms of learning, we need to ask questions about how we feel about particular experiences, whether our response was positive or negative, and how that can impact on our learning, and how this experience is considered in the light of past experience, and how we bring the two together. And we can also think about how we might explore through questioning how the experience, how our experience of teaching is changing in terms of our own thinking and the ways of knowing the experience that we're having.